Hi everyone. I'm Xiao Huan from Susan's family. Today I'm bringing you a new design, the poppy wrap from the Verdant Vine Wrap Duo. This project is divided into 3 parts, the main part, the edging and the decorations. First, crochet the main part, then move on to the edging. Finally crochet the decorations and sew them on. Let's start by learning the crocheting method for the main part. Begin with a foundation chain. Work back and forth in rows. The stitches used are chain, single crochet, double crochet and FPDTER. Watch me demonstrate the specific crocheting method. For easier viewing, I'll use cotton yarn here with random colors. For specific yarn color schemes and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page of our product and the paper instructions. First, make a foundation chain. Take the corresponding yarn, leave a yarn tail and make a slip knot. This starting knot doesn't count as one stitch, gently tighten it. Then work the corresponding number of chains according to the pattern. After completing, check the stitch count. Each of these braids counts as one stitch. Note that the loop on the hook is not included. With that, casting on is complete. Now start working row 1. First, make 3 chains as the turning chain for the double crochet. Then work 2 more chains. Next, find the 6th chain from the end. That is, the last stitch of the foundation chain. Pick up both top loops of the chain. Work 1 single crochet. Then work 10 chains. Skip the next 6 chains below. Work 1 single crochet in the 7th chain. Chain 4. In the same stitch as the previous single crochet, work another single crochet. Chain 10. The part worked from this single crochet position onwards count as one pattern group. This row repeats this one pattern group continuously. I'll demonstrate another group. First, skip 6 chains. Work 1 single crochet in the next stitch. Chain 4. 1 single crochet and 10 chains. Another group is now completed. Repeat the pattern below. Keep crocheting until only one chain remains from the starting chain. Now you've reached the corresponding position. Work 1 single crochet in the last stitch. Chain 2, 1 double crochet. Row 1 is now complete. The front side of the piece is now facing us. Now continue to row 2. Make a foundation chain of 6 chains. As the beginning chain for a double treble crochet, corresponding to the stitch below, then turn the work counterclockwise. Chain 5. Work a pattern in the large chain space on the left. That is, 1 single crochet, 4 chains, 1 single crochet and 10 chains. After completing it, skip the left stitch and the small chain space. Continue to work a group of stitches in the next large chain space on the left. This row consists of working one group of stitches in each large chain space. Work one group in each large chain space. Skip all stitches and small chain spaces. Continue downward following the pattern. Keep crocheting up to the previous row, leaving one large chain space remaining. Wagopi handmade. Now you've reached the corresponding position. Pick up the large chain space and work one single crochet. 4 chains. 1 single crochet and 5 chains. Then, in the turning chain of the previous row, work 1 double treble crochet. If you can't find the spot, count left from the stitch. The third stitch is the top chain loop of the beginning chain. Pick up any 2 strands of the chain and crochet. This stitch, yarn over 3 times. Insert the hook into the chain and pull through. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops on the hook. Repeat 4 times. This double treble crochet is completed. Row 2 is done. Now let's crochet row 3. Make 3 chains as the turning chains for the double crochet, corresponding to the stitch below. Turn the work counterclockwise. Work 2 chains. Into the stitch under the turning chain itself, work 1 single crochet and 10 chains. Skip the left stitch and the small chain space. Into the large chain space on the left, work a cluster. 1 single crochet, 4 chains, 1 single crochet and 10 chains. The pattern for this row is also to work one group of stitches into each large chain space. Work a cluster into every large chain space. Skip the stitches and small chain spaces without working into them. Follow this pattern to complete the entire row. Now the last cluster has been completed. Then, into the starting chain from the previous row, which is the 6th chain counting up from below. Work 1 single crochet, 2 chains, and 1 double crochet. At this point, row 3 is done. Continue to crochet row 4. This row follows the same crocheting method as row 2. Make a foundation chain of 6 chains to start. Corresponds to 1 stitch below. Then turn the work counterclockwise. Crochet 5 more chains. Then follow the pattern of row 2. Refer to the chart and crochet the rest of this row. After completing the last 5 chains, continue into the starting chain of the previous row, crochet 1 double treble crochet. Yarn over the hook 3 times. Insert the hook into the chain and pull through the yarn. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops on the hook. Repeat 4 times. This double treble crochet is now completed. Row 4 is now complete. After finishing the first 4 rows, you can measure the dimension of the main part. Compare it with the pattern chart. If there's a significant difference, adjust the tension of your hands, or switch to a different hook size and recrochet. Take a look. Treat rows 3 and 4 as one repeat sequence. The main part is made by repeating this sequence. Keep crocheting until you reach the required number of rows. Continue following the previous demonstration and instructions. Keep going until the main part is completely finished. This is the sample swatch after completing the main part. When done, secure with 1 chain stitch. Leave a 5 cm yarn tail, and break the yarn. Either side of the main part can be the right side. Then hide the yarn tail by weaving it through the wrong side of the fabric texture. Trim excess tail. Also hide the beginning yarn tail to the wrong side of the fabric. That's it for the main part. Next, let's move on to the edging. The edging consists of neckline edging and hem edging. These are crocheted on the cast-on edge and the last row of the main part respectively. Now let's learn how to crochet the neckline edging. The neckline edging is made up of vines and small flowers. First, crochet the vine section. After completing it, crochet small flowers onto the vine separately. The new stitch techniques used are slip stitch and half double crochet. Now watch me demonstrate. Next, let's learn the vine part. Hold the main part with the right side facing you. The cast-on edge should be at the top. Join yarn to the rightmost stitch of the starting chain on either side of the main part. Take new yarn, leave a yarn tail and make a slip knot. Pull the loop through. Adjust the loop size. Now the yarn is joined. After joining, work 3 chains. Then, into the space between the first and second cluster of row 1 on the main part. Pick up the chain stitch from the starting chain. Work 1 downward facing leaf. First, work 1 slip stitch and pull tight. Then, work 4 chains. Continue to work 1 single crochet. One half double crochet. After completing, from left to right, turn the piece clockwise 1 full round. Work 1 slip stitch. Now 1 downward facing leaf is complete. Then, work 3 chains as a transition. On the left side is the stitch for row 1 of the main part. Pick up one remaining strand from the foundation chain. Crochet one upward facing leaf. First, work one slip stitch. Pull tight. Handmade. Then, work 4 chains. Next, count left to the second chain. Work one slip stitch in that chain, do not tighten. Continue with one single crochet, one half double crochet. Finally, work a slip stitch into the stitch below where the previous slip stitch was made. This completes one upward facing leaf. Next, work 3 chains. Into the space between the second pattern, on the first row of the main part. Pick up the starting chain stitch just like before. Work one downward facing leaf. One slip stitch, pull tight. Then, work 4 chains. Then, work one slip stitch into the second chain counting from the left. One single crochet, one half double crochet. After completing, from left to right, turn the piece clockwise one full round. Make one slip stitch. One downward facing leaf is completed. Continue with 3 chains. Insert the hook into the remaining strand on the left side, at the base of the first row pattern of the main part. Crochet one upward facing leaf. After completing, work 3 chains as a transition. Work 1 downward facing leaf. Take a look. Here we are alternating crocheting upward and downward leaves. Between every 2 leaves, work 3 chains as a bridge. After completing, work 7 chains. Match the insertion point of 1 leaf on the left side. Skip this position. Continue alternating crocheting 6 upward and downward leaves. The direction of each leaf should correspond to the previous leaf's orientation. The previous leaf was facing downward, so start by crocheting an upward facing leaf. Number 6 leaves are completed. Continue with 7 chains. Correspond to the insertion position of 1 leaf on the left side. Now let's look at the crocheting pattern of the vine. It consists of a large group of 6 leaves and 7 chains. Repeat this large group pattern to complete the row. Pay attention when crocheting. Between every 2 leaves in a large group, work 3 chains as a transition. Follow this pattern to finish the entire row. After completing the last upward facing leaf, work 3 chains. Join with a slip stitch into the first chain of the beginning chain. Then work 1 chain to secure. Leave a yarn tail and cut the yarn. Pull tight and weave in the ends. This completes the vine section. Now let's move on to crocheting the small flowers. For the first small flower, join the yarn in the last stitch of the starting chain. Work while wrapping around the chain of the vine. The small flower is crocheted in 2 layers, top and bottom. Start with a chain of 3. Then begin crocheting the first layer. Work 3 chains. Then work 2 double crochets in the 4th chain from the hook. Chain 3. Make 1 slip stitch at the placement of stitches for the double crochet. Treat the part pulled through on this chain as a small petal. This forms a small petal. Next, work 1 slip stitch in the adjacent chain stitch. Chain 3. Continue by working 2 double crochets in the same stitch. Chain 3. Work 1 slip stitch. Similarly, treat the crocheted stitches on this chain as a small petal. This small petal has 1 more slip stitch than the previous small petal. This small petal has 1 additional slip stitch compared to the first small petal. Continue in the adjacent chain stitch. Follow the crochet method of the second small petal. Once completed, the upper layer petals are finished. Next, crochet the lower layer petals. Rotate the piece. First, at the same position as the first petal, pick up 1-2 remaining strands of the chain stitch and crochet. If you can't find the exact position, you can roughly pick up 1-2 strands from behind and crochet. Once crocheted, the upper and lower layer petals will overlap. Next, on the second petal, work another petal in the same chain stitch. Again, if the position is hard to find, just roughly pick up 1-2 strands. This completes the lower small petals. Finally, at the insertion point of the first double crochet, make 1 slip stitch to finish. After completing, break the yarn and weave in ends. This completes the first small flower. Next, crochet the second small flower at the 7-chain part of the vine. Pick up 1 remaining strand from the first row pattern of the main part. While wrapping around the chain stitches of the vine, join the yarn. The crocheting method is the same as for the first small flower. This is what the second small flower looks like when completed. Everyone continue with this method. Crochet a small flower at the 7 chain space of each vine. The last small flower should be crocheted into the first chain space of the starting chain. Now please complete the rest on your own. This completes the explanation for the neckline edging. Now let's move on to crocheting the hem edging. Place the fabric with the right side facing up. Join the yarn to the turning chain, or double crochet at the edge of the last row of the main part. First, make 6 beginning chains. Then, crochet 3 chain stitches as a transition. After completing, on the left side, work a double crochet into the large chain space of the last row. Then start crocheting the first flower. First, make 12 chain stitches. Join with a slip stitch in the 7th chain from the hook. Pull tight. Then crochet the petals into the chain loop formed. First, work a single crochet. Next, crochet the first petal. The first petal needs to be connected to the beginning chain. First, work 3 chains. After completing, stretch the loop large. Take out the crochet hook. Find the 6th chain from the starting point. Insert the hook into this chain and pull the yarn through. Adjust the loop size. Continue to work 1 double crochet into the chain space. See how this double crochet is now connected to the beginning chain. Then continue to work 2 more double crochets into the chain loop formed. 3 chain stitches. Finally, work 1 single crochet. This way, the first petal is completed. Next, crochet the second petal. Three chain stitches. Three double crochets. Three chain stitches. One single crochet. Repeat this process to make 2 petals. After completing the last petal, go to the left. Work 5 single crochets into the initial 5 chains. This completes the first flower. After finishing, work 3 chains as a transition. Then, insert the hook into the small chain space of the pattern below. Work 1 treble crochet. Yarn over the hook twice. Insert the hook into the stitch and draw the yarn through. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops on the hook. Repeat this 3 times. This treble crochet is now completed. After completing, work 3 chains as a transition. Continue by working 1 double crochet into the large chain space on the left. Next, crochet the second flower. First, work 12 chains. After completing, join with a slip stitch in the 7th chain from the hook. Pull tight. Then, crochet the petals into the ring formed by the chains. First, work 1 single crochet. Then, crochet 1 petal. After completing, crochet the second petal. First, work 3 chains. Then, work 4 double crochets. The second petal is now completed. After completing, start crocheting the third flower. The crochet method is similar to the first flower. The first double crochet of the first petal needs to be joined with the first flower. First, crochet to the position of the first petal. Now you've reached the corresponding position. Begin to connect to the first flower. Pull up a large loop. Take out the crochet hook. Locate the last double crochet stitch of the third petal of the first flower. Insert the hook and draw the yarn through. Adjust the loop size. This way it's connected. Continue to finish crocheting this flower. Now the third flower is completed. Continue to complete the second flower. At the second petal of the second flower, work 3 single crochets on the side of the last double crochet. Finally, return to the chain loop formed in the second flower. Work 1 single crochet. Complete the second flower. Now the second flower is completed. After completing, work 3 chains as a transition. Then pick up the small chain space below the pattern. Work 1 treble crochet. After completing, work 3 chains as a transition. We do it like this. Starting from the double crochet worked above the large chain space. ending at the last 3 chains as a transition. The pattern formed is called a group of stitches. Next, work the second group of stitches. First, work a double crochet in the left large chain space. Begin working the first flower. Follow the same crocheting method as the first flower, but for the last double crochet of the first petal here, it needs to be joined with the first double crochet of the last petal of the second flower from the previous group. The first double crochet stitch of the second petal here should be joined with the last double crochet of the third petal of the second flower from the previous group. Work the remaining part in the same way. After edging the hem, continue following the same crocheting method as for the second group of stitches. Follow the chart downward. Finish crocheting the remaining part. When working the last group of stitches, pay attention. Before working the final treble crochet, it needs to be joined with the fourth petal of the second flower in the last group. The last double crochet is connected. After completing, cut the yarn and weave in ends. That concludes the explanation for the hem edging. Next we'll move on to the decorations, which include flowers, buds, leaves, and stems. The new stitch technique used is single crochet increase, SC2 in 1. Watch me demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Let's start by making the flower. Each flower consists of 4 petals and 1 seed pod. First, let's crochet the petals. Take the corresponding color yarn. Make a foundation chain of 4 chains. Join the chain into a ring. Right side facing you. Pay attention not to twist the chain. Insert hook into the top loop of the first chain. Join with a slip stitch and pull tight. The starting round is now complete. Now move on to row 1. Make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Work 5 single crochets into the chain space. Crochet and weave in the yarn tail as you go. Row 1 is now complete. Part of the beginning yarn tail has already been secured. You can cut it directly. Now start row 2. Make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Turn the work piece. Make a single crochet increase into the stitch below the beginning chain. That means make 2 single crochets into the same stitch. This single crochet increase is now complete. Make a single crochet increase in each stitch down the row. Finish crocheting this row. Row 2 is now completed. Continue to crochet row 3. Chain 3 as beginning. Counts as 1 double crochet. Turn the work. Work a double crochet into the adjacent stitch on the left. Continue with 1 double crochet in each subsequent stitch. Finish crocheting this row. Fasten off the yarn normally, when completed. Row 3 is now finished. Move on to row 4. Position the wrong side of the piece toward you. Join the yarn to the last stitch from the previous row. Chain 3 as beginning. Work 1 double crochet into the adjacent stitch on the left. Crochet while gently tightening the yarn tail. Continue with 2 more double crochets. Then make 2 double crochets in the next stitch. Repeat 3 times. When completed, continue working 1 double crochet per stitch. Crochet all the remaining stitches. Work the last double crochet into the beginning chain of the previous row. If there's still yarn tail left here, you can cut it directly. Row 4 is now complete. Proceed to row 5. Chain 3 as beginning chains. Turn the work piece. Pick up the adjacent stitch on the left and make 1 double crochet. Refer to the chart below. Pick up stitches and crochet the corresponding number of double crochets. Finish crocheting this row. Fasten off the yarn normally, when completed. Row 5 is now done. Continue to crochet row 6. Take the corresponding color yarn. Place the right side of the piece towards you. On the left side, join the yarn to the last stitch of the previous row. Chain 3 as beginning chains. Pick up 2 strands from the edge of the left side, double crochet. Make 2 double crochets. Then, pick up 2 strands from the edge of the left side, beginning chain. Make 2 half double crochets. Continue to pick the next double crochet edge. Make 2 single crochets. Then pick the left side single crochet edge. Make 1 single crochet. Repeat 2 times. Now reach the starting point. Pick up the stitch in the starting chain space. Make 4 single crochets. Refer to the pattern chart. Symmetrically pick and crochet the other side of the piece. Work the corresponding stitches. Finish this side. Once completed, pick up the third chain of the beginning chain. Make 4 double crochets. Then hook into the adjacent stitch on the left. Make 2 double crochets. Continue to hook into the adjacent stitch on the left. Make 3 double crochets. In each stitch below, make 3 double crochets until the last 2 stitches. Now reach this position. Pick up the left stitch and make 2 double crochets. Then pick up the stitch at the joining position. Make 3 double crochets. Slip stitch into the beginning chain to join. Fasten off the yarn normally. Weave in the ends yourself. This petal is now completed. Take the front side of the last round of double crochets as the right side of the petal. Follow these steps below. Crochet the corresponding number of petals and set aside. Next, crochet the capsule. Take the corresponding contrasting color yarn. Make a double magic ring with yarn over your fingers. Now work the first round. Make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Work 6 single crochets into the magic ring. After completing, tighten the ring. Then insert hook into the first stitch, and make 1 slip stitch, pull tight. The first round is now completed. Now crochet the second round. Make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Work a single crochet increase into the next stitch below. Tighten the starting tail. In each stitch going down, work 1 single crochet increase. Complete this round. You can cut it directly. After completing, join with a slip stitch into the first single crochet. Pull tight. The second round is complete. Continue to crochet the third round. Make 1 chain as your beginning chain. 1 single crochet. Alternate crocheting 1 single crochet and 1 single crochet increase. Finish this round. Finish this. After completing, join with a slip stitch into the first stitch. Pull tight. The third round is done. Move on to crochet the fourth round. Make 1 chain as your beginning chain. First work 1 single crochet. Then make a single crochet decrease. Insert the hook into the first stitch. The strand closest to the right side. Then insert into the left side. The strand of the stitch closest to the right side. 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. 2 loops remain on the hook. Yarn over and draw through in once. Single crochet decrease completed. This method of picking up only the front strand of the stitch is called invisible decrease. Continue with 1 single crochet. Then make a single crochet decrease. Work 1 single crochet into the next stitch. Alternate crocheting single crochet and single crochet decrease. Complete this round. Join with the first stitch using a slip stitch to complete. Pull tight. Round 4 is done. After decreasing, the fabric naturally curls. Adjust the fabric so the right side faces out. Fifth round, work 6 single crochet decreases in a row, crochet them one by one. After completing, slip stitch to join and pull tight. Fasten off the yarn normally. Tuck the yarn tail into the inside of the piece. Round 5 is completed. Move on to round 6. This round is worked into the single crochet stitches of round 4. Take the corresponding contrasting color yarn. Position the piece with the right side towards you. Insert your hook into any stitch of round 4. Come out through the adjacent chain space on the left side. Draw the yarn through. Adjust the loop size. Then crochet 12 chains. Once done, insert your hook into the same chain space. Come out through the adjacent chain space on the left. Work 1 slip stitch. Treat this group of chains and slip stitch as one pistil. I'll crochet another pistil. Insert your hook into the left chain space. Exit through the adjacent chain space. Work 1 slip stitch. Then crochet 12 chains. Pick up the same position again. Work 1 slip stitch. Another pistil is complete. Follow this method downward. Crochet pistils along the stitch positions of the 4th round. Finish this round. Once all are completed, fasten off the yarn normally. Hide the yarn tail inside the fabric. This completes the 6th round. Next, add decoration to the capsule. Cut a piece of corresponding contrasting color yarn and thread it into the sewing needle. Bring the needle out from the center of the starting point. Leave a small tail at the back. Insert the needle into any stitch of the last round. Sew a stripe like this. Continue by coming out again from the starting center. Insert into the adjacent stitch. This is the second stripe. Follow this method downward. Sew one stripe on each stitch. Complete this round of sewing. After completing 6 stripes, tie a double knot with the beginning and ending yarn tails. Trim off the excess yarn. This capsule is now completed. Follow this method downward, crochet the corresponding number of capsules and set aside. Next, make the bud. Each bud consists of 2 petals and 1 calyx. The crocheting method for the petals is similar to that of the petals, only the stitch count and row numbers differ. Please refer to the earlier demonstration. Refer to the chart and crochet the corresponding number of petals. The calyx starts with a magic ring. Crochet in rounds around the beginning chain. The crocheting method for the first 5 rounds is simple, similar to that of the capsule, except there is no decrease while crocheting. I use this small sample. Demonstrate the crocheting method for the final round. The previous round already joined with a slip stitch in the first stitch. Join with a slip stitch. Chain 2. In the same stitch, work 1 slip stitch. Treat these stitches as one pointed shape. I'll repeat another pointed shape. On the left side adjacent stitch, work 1 slip stitch. 2 chains. Make 1 slip stitch. Another pointed shape is complete. Follow this method all the way down. Work 1 pointed shape in each stitch. Complete this round. Once done, leave a tail about 30 centimeters long, and cut the yarn. This calyx is completed. Next, assemble the bud. Thread the reserved yarn tail into a sewing needle. Come out at the position adjacent to the tail. Insert into the adjacent chain space below. Gently tighten. Weave the tail into the inside of the calyx. Then take 2 petals. Roll the first petal with the right side facing out. Then take the second petal, also with the right side facing out. Wrap around the first petal like this. Make sure the openings of the 2 petals are staggered. Align the bottoms. Once tidy, insert the petals into the calyx. Insert the needle at approximately the position of round 2 stitches. Exit on the opposite side. Then exit at the insertion point of the calyx tip. Insert at the adjacent position. Continue inserting through the petal. Exit on the other side. Follow this method downward. Sew back and forth a few stitches to secure. After sewing, bring the needle out through the center of the calyx starting chain. Gently tighten. This bud is now assembled. Leave the yarn tail for later use. Follow this method downward. Make the corresponding number of buds for later use. Next, crochet the leaves. First, cast on the corresponding number of chains. Once completed, make 1 beginning chain to start. Insert the hook into the front loop of the second chain from the hook. Work 1 single crochet. 1 stitch to another, work single crochets across. Crochet all the way down the remaining foundation chain. After finishing, make 1 chain for transition. Pick up the last chain leaving 2 strands. Work 1 slip stitch. Rotate the piece, continue to pick up the left side adjacent chain leaving 2 strands. Work 2 slip stitches correspondingly. Continue with 2 single crochets. One half double crochet and 2 double crochets. Then pick up the left chain position. Work 2 treble crochets. Let's start with the first stitch. Yarn over the hook twice. Insert into the chain space. Draw the yarn through. Then pull through 2 loops on the hook 1 by 1. Repeat 3 times. This treble crochet is completed. Continue to pick the same position and work 1 treble crochet. Then chain 3 as a bridge. Insert into the same chain space. Work 1 slip stitch. Gently tighten. Continue to pick the adjacent chain space on the left side. Make 2 single crochets evenly. One half double crochet. Then pick the adjacent chain space on the left side. Work 2 double crochets. Two chains as a transition. Work 1 slip stitch in the same position. Gently tighten. Then into the remaining 2 chain spaces. Work 1 single crochet in each. Once completed, move to the stitch position. Pick the first single crochet stitch. Work 3 SC in 1. That is, pick this stitch. Make 3 single crochets into the same stitch. This 3 SC in 1 is now complete. Then pick the adjacent stitch on the left. Work 1 single crochet. Then pick the next adjacent stitch on the left. Work 1 slip stitch. Chain 2 for the transition. Pick the same stitch. Make 2 double crochets. Once completed, pick the adjacent stitch on the left. Correspondingly make 1 half double crochet and 2 single crochets. Then pick the next stitch. Work 1 slip stitch. 3 chains as a bridge. Then pick the same stitch. Work 2 treble crochets. Once completed, continue to pick the adjacent stitch. Correspondingly make 2 double crochets. One half double crochet. 2 single crochets. And 3 slip stitches. Done. Then pick the tip position on this side. Work 1 slip stitch. Leave a yarn tail of about 30 centimeters and cut the yarn. Tuck in the starting tail on the wrong side by yourself. This leaf is now complete. Next, crochet the stem. Please watch the demonstration. Now demonstrate the method of holding the yarn and crocheting chain stitches. Leave a yarn tail about 3 times the length of the cord needed at the front. Hold the yarn with left hand. Keep the leftover yarn tail underneath. First make a knot. Then place the yarn tail from front to back over the hook. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through the loop and the held strand. First stitch is complete. Bring the bottom yarn tail from front to back over the hook. Continue crocheting. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through. Repeat the yarn over and crocheting. Once the desired length is reached, leave a tail and cut the yarn. If sewing is needed, leave the tail longer. Follow this method downward. Crochet the corresponding number and length of stems as. Finally sew on the poppy flowers and buds. The exact number and position can be determined according to your preference and available yarn. Watch me demonstrate the specific sewing method. Next, I'll demonstrate sewing the poppy flower. Each flower consists of one bloom, one stem, and 2 leaves. First assemble the flower. Divide the petals into 2 layers. Align the bases of the petals in each layer. Position the 2 layers perpendicularly, crossing each other. Using the corresponding color yarn. Sew together the bottom layer's 2 petals first. Then in the same way, sew together the top layer's 2 petals. Once completed, sew the seed pod to the center of the petals at the base of the pistil, attaching the seed pod to the central position of the petals. Now the flower is assembled. Place the stem in the corresponding position. Bend it into a graceful curve as much as possible. Leave a section at the bottom of the stem unsewn. The sewing method isn't fixed, just make sure it's securely fastened. Once done, cross and secure the bases of the two leaves left and right onto the stem. And also secure them to the main part. Attach the other leaf using the same sewing method. Finally, sew the flower onto the top of the stem. Now one poppy flower branch is complete. Next, sew together the bud. Made up of one bud, one stem, and one leaf. Use the same sewing method as the poppy flower. First sew the stem. Then sew on the leaf. Finally attach the bud. The leaf can be sewn on the upper left or upper right side of the stem, or adjusted according to your preference. The sewing method is simple. Please finish sewing them yourself. That concludes the sewing instructions. Next, learn the strap part, which consists of the strap, bud, and leaf. Once the strap is completed, attach it to the main part. Watch me demonstrate the specific crocheting method. First, using the same method as crocheting the stem before, crochet a strap to the corresponding length. After completing it, take one end of the strap, with the right side of the fabric facing you. Start from the first hole on the top right of the main part. Pass through each hole alternately up and down from right to left. Continue until the last hole where it ends. The strap is now attached. Finally, sew the bud and leaf onto each end of the strap respectively. This demonstration takes about 70 seconds. Weave in the ends when done. That concludes the explanation of the tie straps. Up to this point, the entire product making process is completely explained. If there are still unclear parts during your crocheting process, don't hesitate to join our Facebook group to get supports. Susan's Family. Supporting your handwork experience. Sharing the joy of life. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.